Hello, this is Bob from Advanced Light Weaponry, and I wanted to do a video talking about the Light Claymore, the merger of kind of the European style weapons with the fantasy sci-fi of energy swords. I began doing this type of thing back in around 2005, 2006. I started by using the light rapier as kind of the starting point for that merger. In this case, it's a stainless steel hilt, an all steel handmade cross-guard and cage with an internal switch. Used the 3/4 inch blade, which back then was basically the standard. I started Advanced Light back in around 2003, and there was really only one other Saber manufacturer back then, and the standard blade diameter was 3/4 inch. I changed that, and it was around the time that Master Replica was doing the same sort of thing, and went up to a 1 inch. I used the 1 inch because when I tested my polycarbonate, when I first started Advanced Light, I wanted to make something that was really durable and didn't have flex to it, and could really be used to do full contact dueling. So I started using a thick-walled 1 inch polycarbonate. But with the rapier, because a rapier is a light, fast weapon, I found that the 3/4 inch actually worked well. The stock that I use is still relatively thick, so it's very durable, but there is some flex to it, and it worked out great. The people that get these from me know how to fence, and they've often found that the fencing style works great in dueling against people who are using the kind of the Japanese katana style fighting. It's very quick. As far as the concept goes, if you wanted to translate kind of the Star Wars mythology of energy weapons into this sort of thing, there is, in the expanded universe, I think it's called Beskar, which is Mandalorian iron, and it's supposed to be able to resist lightsaber strikes. So making a cage, or in the case of the Claymore, which was the next thing I started making, the crossguard, out of Beskar, you would be able to deflect a lightsaber blade. Now, as far as what's going on now with the Star Wars universe, with the new film coming out, I don't know what their use of expanded universe information is, but it is out there nevertheless. So the next variation for me was a Light Claymore, and in this particular one, it's more of a fantasy piece, kind of an anime-looking hilt. It is a full-length, very long, two-handed style saber with a removable blade, and it's got all this steel work here for the crossguard. It's very detailed and pretty intricate, but it is still functional. I would never use this. This is to fight with, because I made this more as a collector's piece. But that's the next variation on that Claymore. Another one that is a merger, and still more in the fantasy realm, kind of European fantasy, would be this one. In this case, when I made this one, it was more of a mechanical looking rear grip, and then more of a traditional foregrip. In this case, it is wood over steel, and then the cage and the crossguard are sculpted out of steel, and it's a serpent's head. And I made this specifically so that you could see the light coming through the emitter head. You can see it through the nostrils and the mouth and the eyes. But it is still fully functional. It's all steel. In this case, steel covered in brass. And And again, if you were translating something like this into ancient Star Wars mythology, it would have to be made of some kind of metal that can resist a lightsaber strike. And the only thing that I know of, again, is that Beskar stuff. And then the more traditional European style would be this, which is a cross guard, straight cross guard. And of course, the cross guard, when you're talking about what's going on now with the whole Episode 7 stuff, remember, a cross guard has two uses. Well, could be three, but really two primary uses. One, it's your stopping point for your hand, so it doesn't slide up to the blade. And two, it catches your opponent's blade if it comes down the blade. You're able to actually catch it or trap it, depending on how the construction of the crossguard is, but it protects the user from being sliced open in the hand or wrist area when fighting. And in this case, very just traditional straight crossguard. Now, the discussions on the boards about the Star Wars version of this that's just come out. Now I disconnected the speaker so we can talk about this. It would be a great functional idea, I think, for as a weapon, including that because you've got lightsaber blades coming out of the sides. Not only would it catch and stop another lightsaber blade, and if this part of the crossguard was made of Mandalorian steel or Mandalorian iron, that would also deflect. But this being large enough that you're not going to cut your hand off as at the stopping point if you're bringing your hand up here. But it's a cool idea because these can also then be used as weapons, depending on how you use it. The other aspect of this is it looks cool. I think it does. From the trailer, from what I've seen, I think it looks really awesome, actually. But then again, I'm pretty used to cross-guarded energy swords. So for me, that wasn't a big leap because I've seen them for years because I've been making them for years. To a lot of people, this is sort of a new concept. So I don't know, maybe they're afraid of new ideas. I don't know, but I think it's a pretty cool idea. So when I saw the trailer, of course, I immediately thought, well, how would you make that practically? That's an interesting idea. I've made these things before where they don't light up. What would it take to make them to light up? So I took a couple days and made a prototype. And there you go. And this kind of thing would be totally functional. You have polycarbonate blades. This being the prototype was not made for full contact, although it could handle it because the body in this case is made of steel. But I would, if I made these, I would make the crossguard section a little bit tougher so that if it was dropped or something like that, that you wouldn't have any problem with any damage to the emitter nozzle areas. Because this part is plastic and the rest of this is steel. So if I was actually going to make one of these for real, I would make the entire thing out of steel and aluminum. Two separate switches so that you can actually turn them on and off separately, and either with sound or without sound, it really doesn't make much of a difference. But there you have it, and that's my concept of their concept of a cross-guarded lightsaber.